couple parts or just skip it all together. If you are bothered by blood, violence, shouldn't violence just cover everything? Do I have to go over the different kinds of violence? I'm not going to show more than I need to, just enough to demonstrate the point that I'm trying to show, which is the gratuitous extent of violence in this situation that I'm about to talk about. So, Lana Del Rey right now in 2020 is having this moment where she's like, why does everybody else get to shake their ass and talk about their bad choices in men, but I can't talk about how I want to get hit? Like, to me, that's what it is. She just went on like this Twitter rant, and that's what it sounded like to me. She's like comparing all these, pop artists, saying, all they talk about is sex, and then she's right. But what she's doing, when something is clearly bad and people say, yeah, but look at A, B, C, you don't want to do that for your argument, because look at those people. Let's look at them. Do you want to be like that, or you want to be actually worse? Because you're influencing young minds.
With my videos to do so. And I wasn't.
They usually keep footage of initiations with new celebrities under lock and key, like they said. There was this song called Your Girl, and I really liked it. I remembered posting it a while back, but I didn't remember a couple things in this. Kind of really things that I feel like I should have noticed. Okay. This is so weird. Yeah, here it is, the weirdness.
Get me off the stage. I can't do this anymore. Been gone for 3 years. Is that enough for you, boy?
I was like, where did that come from? And someone said that she made a video with Marilyn Manson and that it was from that. So then I went to check that out, and it's called Sturmgruppe, Sturm. I'll show you. And it's a really odd video. Watch this close. These figures are in the video. Let's go back so you can see them. You can see the rape balloons. Balloons are celebrating, Balloons are celebrating at a party. These people look like they're at a party. But they all don't look happy. And, let's see if you notice anything strange about them. Hold on. All right. This is the party. Looks like a fun party, huh? You got a skinny Ashton Kutcher looking motherfucker over there. I don't even know. I think this girl is, she reminds me of that doll thing. I think her name was Venus. I know it's not her, because I know she doesn't do it anymore, but she looks just like her, one of those Japanese, doll girls. You got this, which looks like a botched ass surgery, and then you got this, which is just kind of obvious. So yeah, they're in the video the whole time. The balloons are back there. You don't know what they say until the end, but other stuff like this, blood and bugs eating. What? Okay.
I Marilyn Manson, go fuck yourself. I didn't deny involvement in it. I just simply said it was not meant to be a Marilyn Manson video. And the editor of the company that was working, that put it out, was someone who's edited my videos. That video was something that was done with a camera that Eli, who's my friend, and I both wanted to test out. So I let him test it out. And because I was quite bored and annoyed with the whole situation before it happened, what they filmed, that was put in context, seeming as if it were a Marilyn Manson video. And no, it was in no way an intention. Eli and I wanted to do a music video with her, but she was being such a problem for me, personally, although I still respect her and think I'm friends with her, that I just left. I was tired. And I set him test the camera out. And
sorry, when you say she, was it Lana? Is that?
Yeah, I was just not willing to want to make that part of my video. But Eli and I originally had intentions of making a video with her. But that is not the intention that is represented in that film clip, because that was not what I filmed. It was not for my video. It was nothing but the people who put it together with my other clips. And it's really strongly stands out of place. It doesn't really make sense. So I would not make a video of that nature, because I think it's not, well, nor would Eli. Maybe he would, but I don't think either one of us were intending for that to be ever seen even. It was just more of a camera test. And, while I'm a person that would beat someone's ass if they raped somebody that I know, and obviously you can make Lana Del Rey the jokes that have been in the headlines and things like that. I consider her to be a friend. Eli's a really good friend of mine, and I think that this was a grand mistake on the person who put it with my videos to do so. And I wasn't very pleased with that. I'm pretty sure that the other two people involved were less pleased than I was, because I really had nothing to do with it.
Do you think the sexual abuse of women adds to horror?
No. I mean, that's a crazy question. That's such a, there's literally no way to answer that question. It's like the sexual, nobody, the sexual abuse of women is so horrific. I think Straw Dog is a movie where there's rape, and does that add to that movie? Yes.
Maybe that's what I said.
But how are you supposed to answer a question like that? It's crazy.
Would you ever consider a project with Marilyn Manson?
Yes, actually. I shot a video with Marilyn Manson and Lana Del Rey. And the footage is
a great guy.
Marilyn Manson is the best. He's one of my favorite people. The footage is so sick, it's been locked in a vault for over a year. But Manson is a friend.
What's your greatest weakness as a director?
I spend less time on the dialogue than on the kills. And I can tell when I'm watching my movies, if I have a scene of someone getting their eyes gouged or their tongue sliced off, that to me is like sacred time. I'll spend hours doing it. I want it perfect. If I have like a 5-page dialogue scene of 2 different characters, I'll be like, camera here, camera there. Okay, we got it. Let's go, let's move on. And I can tell when I'm editing going, why don't I have more coverage? Or I could have got a better performance out of that person. Or where are all my shots? And I realize when I schedule my movies, I leave so much time for the kills, because that's what everyone wants to see anyways. People go, yeah, we want to get through the talking parts.
Eli Roth, who directed Hostel. What's this guy? Lucas Etlin, who directed Chainsaw Massacre. All of these people shot this together. It's hard to figure out what comes from what when it comes to her videos. I read an article that said it came from Pretty When You Cry, which would make sense because the song is about like an abusive relationship and all the lyrics to it make sense. And what people have pointed out is the glamorization, whatever, but and I don't usually fall into that stuff, but like if you pay attention to the video clip,
Come true, babe.
it is accurate, but there's something about it that you get the sense that she
Which sees
she never says anything about it. I'm like looking for any kind of response from her, and I haven't found one. But there's plenty from Marilyn Manson apologizing, like almost apologizing for her. It's really, really strange. But he blames the company entirely. It was shot by Eli Roth, who directed Hostel, which is one of the most like torture porn, crazy horror movies. And if it was so disturbing to him that he had to have it locked away for 2 years, if that's how he described it, then what else is on those tapes? Is there just a cache? I know she said she had an alcohol addiction at 14, which to me is fucking bizarre. Like, you had a really ugly childhood if you had to go, get help for like real alcoholism at 14, bro. And so then she gets sent to boarding school. And boarding school is often used by the elite to indoctrinate and brainwash that she was programmed at her boarding school using MK Ultra. So her real name is Elizabeth Woodridge Grant. She was programmed with May Jailer and Lizzie Grant. And there were a few others that she performed under. And she did record some demo albums under these names. I checked May Jailer and Lizzie Grant, but the Lizzie Grant flopped so bad that they had to like remove every piece of it before Lana Del Rey could actually come out. So then she reemerged a year later with her hair dyed, which is a trigger symbolizing a switch in personalities, going by a new name. Yeah, and then she gets signed to a big record label. It's the one that all the people are on, all the Illuminati people are on. What? Interscope, yeah. Lady Gaga, Madonna, like everybody. I looked a little bit more into Marilyn Manson because somebody said that there was a gratuitous violent scene in one of his videos, and I'm wondering why it's even allowed to be broadcast. It's really intense. It's from 2009. That was around the time nobody was really paying much attention to him. He must have been really trying to get people's attention because... So most of the video is him doing this, holding something that looks like a curtain or hair, I don't know, over his face and glaring at the camera. But then in the end, it's real weird. And looks like you're the predator. Oh. Yeah. Yep. You really can't brush this kind of stuff under the rug. It gets worse. I mean, he's punching, he's obliterating her. He keeps going and going and going and going and going. And I don't know how something like this is faked, but the girl in a lot of these parts looks, it looks real, you guys. Do you think she looks horrified? Because I do. It's really, really inappropriate. For a music video. I think there's this one part where you can see her dead, even. Yeah. Whatever the hell this is. It looks like knees. A lot of the critics said that the actress resembled his then girlfriend, who I'm obsessed with, Evan Rachel Wood. So that gives me a time frame for what was going on, because I remember when they were dating, apparently they had just broken up. The album that this came from is largely autobiographical. He says that it includes content relating to the dissolution of his marriage and his failed relationship with Evan Rachel Wood. He says that he went insane for real. Now, for a guy like Marilyn Manson to say, I went insane, I had a psychotic breakdown making this. He talks about how he wrote the album after the breakup on his house, how he just wrote on the walls. And he says in some of the frames you can see the pictures of crazy writing on my walls. That wasn't for a photo shoot, that was how I lived at the time. He said it was a great record, but it came at a bad point in my life. Critics disagree. Someone goes, the song sounds like you'd expect it to be played during a slow dance at the Jonestown prom after someone spiked the Kool-Aid punch bowl. It's pretty accurate. So the album name was The High End of Low. So the whole album is supposedly autobiographical. It does make you question it because of the timing. It doesn't even have to resemble her. Just the violence alone is enough. But then he was quoted as saying this. Shortly before the video's premiere, Manson said that he had daily fantasies about smashing Wood's skull in with a sledgehammer. Yeah. Someone said the video mimicked snuff films and torture porn. Absolutely. It's really, really crazy the timing that this came about. To give you a lens into pop culture, what was going on at that time. They were able to cast off some of the criticism by saying, well, Eminem's Love the Way You Lie is really no different.
I can't tell you what it really is.
Which it's not. It's not. It's just better done. This critic at Stereo Gum said it's a new low for Manson, and it was released the same day that Rihanna was interviewed on 2020 about being assaulted by Chris Brown. He was unsure if this was intentional or not. Yeah, like a lot of people thought it was shocking, but then they compared it to earlier work. That's what people always do, you guys. People are always like, whenever something's inappropriate now, people are always like, oh, you don't remember back when we did this? Like, you don't remember back when we burned witches at the stake? You can normalize anything by looking at the past. I mean, it's just really ridiculous way to look at things. Clarify that he didn't call her a problem. So, like, we already know he's a liar now because we just saw him call her a problem. Yeah, he says the same thing about, I didn't have the intention of the footage being involved with the other footage it was with. Also, I was misquoted in the press about saying that working with Lana was a problem. Nope. Heard that shit. Yeah, he just kind of babbles on and tries to backpedal. There's some other things that I want to talk about. First of all, everything related to Sturmgruppe is gone. So Shortly after it was uploaded on their website, it was deleted along with the website, and it looks like it was absorbed by fans, essentially. It's disturbing the way that the footage is circulating now because, see, the fans get a hold of it, they can do whatever they want with it. It's disturbing. Why? Why give them that? Why put that out there at all to have people manipulate it? Because it's not on her official page, but that's how they get around it. And I have a theory that some of these fan pages are actually pages of her team, like because that's how they could let out certain things without officially letting it out and putting her reputation on the line. That way they could say it was leaked, or Marilyn Manson could say, like, everybody probably just spliced it all together, and, you know, like, so there's no responsibility then. So they created this situation and then erased it, and then you're left with all these bits and pieces of fan stuff that gets spliced in together. But you still have the footage of Sturmgruppe, the actual short video. You can still find it, but it's everywhere because people want to see it. And why is it that people want to see Lana Del Rey get raped? Why? Okay, some possibilities. Now, I've been thinking about this with Manson for a while now because I remember when he actually was relevant, and so I know the kind of shit he's done to try to stay relevant, and part of me thinks that this might be one of them because he's kind of like his own little TMZ, and from what I've noticed, Lana is kind of the same thing. Marilyn Manson is just like his own political spin machine that just does a really bad job, and Lana is just not much better. I feel like he's always trying to keep himself current and in the loop, and so I used to feel like these were all just like staged things for attention, but I think a little bit differently now because I saw, you know, stuff that Evan Rachel Wood went through, and it seems like at some point in time, every young actress or artist like parties with Marilyn Manson, and I've heard a lot about like what he's doing now. He supposedly has like this cult where they all sit around in the dark in this house in Hollywood and just listen to him talk, and sometimes he stabs himself or stabs other people, or I don't know, you know, something normal like that, just 100% normal American dream type of stuff. So also wanted to mention that if you recognized the guy in the interview, you're very perceptive because he plays the rapist himself, which is really ballsy. So not only is he saying, he's smiling while he's saying, I have this footage, it's so sick. The way he smiles when he's talking about Lana, I don't know. I mean, I looked at some of that stuff really close, and it looks real. It looks real, is my opinion. Especially when you start to talk about footage being locked in a vault. Like, who has a vault? Nobody. So the possibilities are that this is to gain more press attention for either or both of them, Lana or Manson, because Manson is really good at being his own little spin machine. He wants to stay current and have his little paws in everything, right? All the new artists, he has to have his little claws dipped in the fucking pool, right? So a lot of things that come out, I think, might be leaked by him for attention. Because I just think he's really bad at like press relations. I'm just looking from what I've found of him. He really doesn't know how to talk to the press, and he just gets caught in lies all the time. One option is that this was a thing that they had agreed upon, Lana and him, of their own free will to do this. But I don't really understand why Lana wouldn't talk about it, especially when pressured, because I know they pressed her. If they pressed Manson, and he wasn't even in the scene, you better believe they tried to get an interview from her and she would not talk to anyone. So that's the inconsistency there. So that leaves us with the Reddit post from the beginning of the video, how people say this is a thing that new initiates go through. Some of the pages that I read from are like weird fringe stuff, but some of these people really know what they're talking about when it comes to all of this initiation type of stuff and SRA, and it was just one idea, and I'm not ready to dismiss it yet because of the vault and because having to keep silent. I think that's part of a contract that you make with something like an organization. Like, they, I think, play little games with you like that. They'll make you take a hit, and they won't let you defend yourself. It's just what I've seen. So that's another theory. And yet another one is she 100% meant to do it. And not only did she mean to do it, but she took the footage from this short film and then through different fan accounts, maybe leaked her own scene into her music video that she wanted it to go with. In this third option, she meant to put out a rape scene. Now, if that's your intention, to put that out into the world, for the world to do with it whatever it wants, it's just really disgusting. The way that people want to get at that rape scene and the way that they keep recirculating it, using different music, splicing it with different footage, trying to make it into a almost romantic thing. It's just really messed up, you guys. And I don't understand it. So, what do you guys think? Is it some Illuminati crap? What do you guys think? I had fun making this video, so if you liked it and you want to watch more lighthearted, conspiratorial type content, let me know, because I think this is what I'm gonna do, man. I love like Hollywood conspiracy stuff. We'll talk about Illuminati stuff. We'll go through these little moments in pop culture history. And if you have any suggestions for any of your favorite pop culture moments or any weird things that you want to look into, anything Illuminati related, yeah, let's do it.